Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am Louis the Average Guy in 1983. Thank you very much for joining us on our podcast. This is session 4. Today, we got a couple of cool things to talk about. So, before we talk about everything, let's go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves.
Tiger from New York. I'm a scooter guy, just like the rest of everybody in here, and I'm here to learn and improve myself with the whole scooter knowledge of the community, and just very interested about what's going on with the scooter community.
Right on.
Molecrocket. Nice to meet everybody again. Florida. Been second time I'm with you guys, 2 weeks in a row.
Right on.
Awesome. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm Joe, the electric scooter guy, and I cover all different types of scooters on my channel, and have the Nami Klima, and then just recently added the Apollo Go to my collection.
Right on. So, I think the first thing we should talk about is that Apollo Go that you got. So,
Okay.
tell us, man, what do you think?
Well, to be honest, I wish I had a little bit more experience to speak to, but it's been a little cold, this time of year, so I haven't got to get out a lot. I did finally get out today for a decent little ride, and it was funny. Like the first time I jumped on, it was going seriously kind of slow, and I guess it's like the factory settings or whatever. I hadn't gotten into the app and like bumped everything up, and I was thinking, oh no, this is not going to be a scooter that I want to ride very often. But once I went into the app and kind of maxed everything out as far as acceleration and so forth, then it has a really nice, for the size of scooter that it is. It's only a 36 volt, 350 watts each motor, but it's a dual motor. And so, for what it is, it's really nice. The suspension works really well. Even though it's not, it's not super beefy suspension, it's not a big scooter. And so it handles it really well. It's not the Klima, of course, but honestly, for a 36 volt scooter, 350 watt motors, I mean, it's really nice. And so far I have zero complaints.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's like a good compact scooter to take around.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the first scooter that I got that I didn't have some kind of quality control issues when I pulled it out of the box. Something I had to address. I have that problem. So every time I get a scooter, including the Klima. So I was pretty excited that I looked it over. I mean, there wasn't even the slightest scratch or anything on it. So I was kind of surprised by that. Happily. And then
nice.
I've
Yeah,
been riding
I
it
actually
around.
seen your unboxing video, and I liked the way they actually had the scooter packaged. It was packaged really nice.
Really nice to have it super protected in there. It comes a little bit different. It's almost like they just really are trying to keep that all together and nice and everything. So I got it's great so far. No complaints at all.
Have you pushed it to max speed yet?
It only goes like 25, and up until today, I think technically, on the based on some of the videos that I've seen, I think it goes like 27 on the display, but it's really like 25, so it's a couple miles an hour off. So I got up to 25 on the display today, so probably around 23.
What made you go this route?
Well, first of all, I've been watching the Apollo Go for a while. And for the most part, I was considering getting something that's similar to my Journey Max, but that's portable, but a little bit nicer. Like I'm not really wanting to put any more time or effort or certainly money into my Journey Max. It's just not
I thought you were going to want to go into something that had a large battery, so you could do some real distance rides and stuff.
I don't know if I have anywhere to go.
Really?
That's going to be that far.
I thought you were listening to us, bro.
No,
we were talking about all these scooters.
I like the idea of having a big battery, just because I don't have to charge it, very often. But I don't go on any, more than 10 miles probably in a day, to be honest.
Well, because you didn't mention anything about the Apollo in our previous discussion, it really blindsided Louis and I. We were like, what? This guy went far left of what we were talking about.
You know,
So-
I'm all over the place. You know, I'll admit it. You know, I don't have a lot of direction in my
You didn't even
life.
say it once, bro. You didn't even say it once.
Yeah, you caught us off guard.
Come on.
Hey, listen,
No.
if the man
Lord.
wants a collection, let him have his collection.
No.
I get it, but it was like he didn't even talk about it. Like we were talking about all these scooters, and like it would have been nice to bring up, you know, something about it. It was like, bam, scooter, it's here. So that's
He wanted to surprise us.
No, I
random,
surprised
bro.
myself, man. I surprised myself.
well,
It
hey,
is nice,
Apollo
though, man.
makes a good machine.
One thing that I gotta hand it to Apollo is their lighting system. It looks
Oh,
like
man.
Yeah.
premium.
I haven't seen anything like it. You know, to be
Yeah.
honest, the way it lights up. I don't do a lot of night riding, but I'd be pretty comfortable with this scooter at night. There's so much light that's emitted out
Does
of the
the
front. It's
end
ridiculous.
does the handlebar ends, do they light up too?
Yeah, they're turn signals. So they're
Right.
in the handlebar.
They
Nice.
glow.
Yep, exactly. It's super
Right.
nice.
That's what's unique. I don't think anybody has the handlebar tips, like the grip ends that have glow on the ends, but Apollo, I think.
Yeah, because I think
VMAX maybe?
Ninebot has some of those like that. Because I know I have some on
They
my
do?
Max G too. But like,
Right on the ends?
yeah, right at the ends. But they're not that great
Huh.
because depending the size of your hand, it can cover the lighting. But
Ah.
for Apollo, they extended them out a little bit further, so it doesn't like affect the actual grip. So when you put your hands
it.
on there, it doesn't get in the way like it does on the Max G2.
That's
that
what I
have.
was thinking. They're very much on the very end versus the others that are, have some glow to them.
Yeah,
That's what I
even
would think
those-
is the most unique.
Yeah, or even the ones that have them on the deck, like at the very bottom that you can't really see them.
I think
Yeah.
solar
I like
would be
the way-
the other one that has similar lighting that the Apollo has around the deck, you know,
Yeah,
around the
Yeah, that's
edges.
some nice lighting.
yeah, the EQ and also the Hyperion, and I think also the Solar P1 Pro and
The Tron.
FF 2.0. Yeah, they have the
Yeah.
Tron lighting. But
Yeah,
really
they have
crappy
that
part is
black
Which
that
one you
out
guys
one.
think? Which one you guys think has the best one out of all of them?
The solar black one, the blacked out black edition.
yeah, the FF 2.0
Hyperion?
Black Edition. That's a nice
Yeah,
one.
that's cool, man. That's the one. The FF 2.0 black edition. That's the coolest
Oh,
one, man.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
also one of
And
the
you could
first
do-
scooters to have a massive battery too. It's
Yeah, and you can do like
72
green
volts, 45
lights
amps.
on it. You can do whatever. It's 65 mile an hour scooter, guys. It's
Yeah.
not a dog.
Right.
Yeah, it's fast. A little
I think
scary
it's
fast,
got pretty good
but it's
specs.
fast.
Wow.
Yeah, it's no joke. I think and that they do the blackout edition. I think they do Panasonic battery in it too. So that makes
for
it
them,
pretty
I think
unique.
They do that. Yeah, because most of them use either LG 21700 cells or Samsung 21700 cells.
And I think they have 72 volt. I'm looking at it now. I kind of liked that they had, I think Louis and I were talking about this. The old school look is what Solar stuck with, you know, the kind of robust, original style that the super scooters used to be, you know, and now their new one is kind of copying a lot off the Apollo. If you kind of look at the hyper end and you look at the new Apollos that they're doing, there's a lot of similarities to the way they look.
Yeah, especially the design of the rubber mat that's on the deck. It's almost
Right.
a very similar print to what Apollo
Yeah,
has.
they kind of took a page out of Apollo.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that new Apollo coming out, man.
that would be good. The Apollo.
What's the name of it?
The
I believe
Phantom.
it's called the
2.0.
Stellar.
Not the Phantom, but there's a
Versions.
higher version of the Phantom
Yeah, this
2.0.
is 60 volt and a 52 volt. Yeah.
It's the Stellar.
Yeah.
The Stellar's are like a really good one.
It's just too much money, man. It's just too expensive, I think, for what it is.
It is.
Honestly, the 2.0, just the standard 2.0 is okay. It's right now, I think it's like $2,400. It's, you know,
Yeah.
it's not terrible. And I mean, it's a 52 volt system, but it's still got 11-inch tubeless tires. And so, I think it's decent for around that price range. To jump a full $1,000, even a little bit more to the 60 volt Stellar version, I think it's just a bit much. I think it should probably be around $3,000 personally.
I mean, yeah, look at how
Yeah.
Solar's doing with the Hyperion. Like, you can't really top that price. I think it's like $32.99.
Yeah,
Well,
right
that's a
now they have
really good
15%
price.
off, so you can get it under $3,000.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's a 72 volt, right?
Yes, it is.
72. Yep.
72
Yeah,
volts, 40
40,
amps. So
Yeah,
it
40.
has a
yeah,
lot of
exactly.
range.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
Have
looking at
there
it
been
right
any
now.
updates with the Borough Motors, the Daytona Project Daytona? Has they have any updates or anything like that? Because we're almost close to March.
Yeah, as of right now that I know of, the only thing Melvin has talked to me about was just that they finally decided on the sine wave controllers, which he didn't mention or get into details with, and also the colors. So they are gonna have that white and black one available, and also a solid black one.
Anything on the name or anything like that?
As of right now, he hasn't mentioned anything, so he's still, I guess, has that up in the air, which I think is weird because, like you said, somewhere around March or April was supposed to be the release date. But I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to take even further longer to
Oh, it's
like
going to push
release.
back for sure.
Yeah, it's going to end up
They
getting
every
pushed back on
time. I
positive.
mean, Emotion took an extra 6 months for theirs to come out after we
Yeah.
did the orders. I mean, it'll be 6 months to a year, I guarantee it, after he even starts taking pre-orders on it. If he's already doing pre-orders,
No, it's not even on
No,
the website. Like it's like
not
it doesn't
even-
exist.
Yeah.
it will take that long. They always like that, guys. I've never seen any scooter launch on the date they say it, not once. I don't care what I've got.
And they're having some little bit of issues early on, so I think that makes sense that they're probably not going to hit their timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got a couple things they got to resolve on that thing.
So the only two places I've seen that scooter is on YouTube and in my dreams. That's about it. So I don't really know too much about it. So
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, Tiger, you know what I've got, right? Did you watch our last videos?
you got the Emotion, the RS.
Right, and I've got the GT2 RS length feet.
They're
I've got
quite-
the
I have problems saying that name sometimes. The lang
it's hard.
Yes,
I had to
don't
get
know
it
how
from
say
the
it.
owner. I asked the owner directly how to say it. And he sent a little screenshot. I sent it to Louis so we would say it correctly. But
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
weird. It's
King,
pronounced
lots of stuff.
Landfit. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if it's Langfit,
and feet.
then
Yeah.
why is it like spelled out that way?
I have trouble saying that. Every time somebody tells me that scooter, I was like, I don't know how to say the name. I'm sure I struggle with it sometimes.
Yeah, they would have been good to go back to the drawing board with the name of that company because it's hard for the customers to remember, and that's usually you want it easy to remember, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly good. It's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious over there. No one's going to remember this thing, man. But yeah, I've got multiple scooters, and that's kind of why I was on the last one with everybody. But we didn't show any of them. And this time, unfortunately, Louis, I still can't get this mic to work for the phone, so I can't do a mobile tour.
Well, it's not a big deal.
That
We'll
again,
probably try
unfortunately.
to fix it later on. Maybe on the next one we
Yeah.
can do it.
Probably it might be best, because there's a lot of stuff there. I think that, especially with that scooter and then the Wolf King and the RX-7, people still have tons of questions about that RX-7, so it would have been nice to show everybody. Sorry about that, everyone.
No, it's okay. Which is your favorite one right now?
I think the GT2 RS. I think it's a great scooter, man. I mean, there are scooters out there, like I said the last time when we were all together, Scooter Guy can tell you, but it's extremely sensitive, so it's definitely the one where you want to own it 4 or 5 scooters down from your experience because of the immense amount of torque that it possesses. So it is definitely an expert rider. You've got to be 100% aware of your surroundings at all times, but there's generally nothing that can beat it on the road. I don't care what it is out there right now. I would even be hard pressed to think that the Daytona could take it. So
No, it can't. There's no way. Well, one
There's
thing
like a
about
$20,000 weed pad that might
maybe.
Yeah, okay. We all forget about Weeped and the Slack core,
Slack core?
and then what's the other
Apex.
one? They changed the name.
I think it wasn't
what's
Apex?
he call it now?
I'm not even
Yeah,
sure
but
what he calls it.
He calls it something else, like Apex. I gotta look that up while you guys
no,
are talking.
Ryan.
But
Ryan.
no, but he changed the name of the company. He has like an abbreviation, I think, next to it. I could tell you in just a second. Apex is something. You guys can keep talking. I'll look it up for you.
Oh yeah. Well, regarding the Landfit GT2 RS, that one is an 84 volt, 50 amp hour battery scooter. So it has power.
Dude.
It has power.
Yeah.
Listen, for my life and my safety, let me not even look at it because I live close to New York City, and those taxi drivers will run me over.
it is certainly no joke, man. It just like it's amazing lighting in it too. There's no doubt about it. Like everything, they put immense amount of thought into it. There's no creaking sounds. It's tight with the screws. Even the display is small, but it's oddly a great display. There's zero glare. They're also working on another display, which Louis knows, which I don't care if we say. They're gonna allow me to test their new display that
That's right.
they're sampling, because there is nobody else, let's be honest, unless it's in Europe,
Yeah.
other than me, that actually has the newest version. I mean, there's that guy, but I don't think he had the newest version that I had, because he had the remote with his, didn't he? He had the alarm.
Yeah, he has the alarm.
The remote alarm. Yeah, they took that off on my version. So I think they want to get some mileage under one to see how to operate. And I think maybe they want to see how it operates on street, because they sell that as an off-road scooter. I'm really the only one that has the on-road tires, right?
Yeah, you're the only one.
I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, you're the only one.
And mine, they're supposed to be 13s, guys, but because of the size of the motor and wheel, they had to up it to almost a 15-inch tire on this thing. So that was technically the largest tire probably ever put on a scooter, I would probably say, right?
That's bigger than the Roadrunner Pro. I mean, that's only 14,
Yeah.
right?
Insane, right?
Roadrunner Pro uses 14s. Oh, yeah, it's
Jeez,
much
it
bigger.
does?
Yeah.
The Roadrunner Pro uses 14
14-inch tires.
from Bora Motors.
Yep.
No, but is that the scooter or the e-bike?
No, that's like an e-bike. Like it's supposed to be like
it's
an
an e-bike. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't stand
Well, that
on
makes sense. I mean, this is a standing scooter, you know what I mean?
That's the crazy part.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that comes up to like those giant Weeped scooters.
Yeah, the Weepeds. Those probably have 15s on them.
Yeah.
I bet they do.
Because they have like these
Especially
massive thick tires.
Yeah, that black edition one's the one that I want, man. That's sweet. Well, I don't know the name of that thing, but that is unreal. What's that called, Scooter Guy? You know? Like Tyrant something?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember, but dude, it's like 14,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the Apex is it's the Leo Apex.
Okay, see, there you go.
Okay. Gotcha.
The guy that owns it changed it to Leo Apex Hyper Scooter. So he doesn't even have Ryan in there anymore. Ryan's gone.
He took the name off. That's weird.
Apex. And I talked to him, by the way, before I picked up, this is a good story. Before I got the GT2 RS, I was talking to the owner, having a one-on-one with him on Facebook, and, saying, look, I'm the crazy guy that, rides at very high speeds, and, you need a footprint out here in Florida. And, you sell this thing to me at a discount, I'm basically a billboard, because, there's no other idiot like me riding these kind of speeds. And people are going to ask me all the time, what the hell is that thing? And he was great about it. He was going to give me a sizable discount. But then I started to watch that guy's videos. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's that tall African-American guy. He's like really, he's the only one riding this thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was like, speed wobble, speed wobble, speed wobble, speed wobble. So I tell Leo, I'm like, look, bro, I don't mind buying this thing. I said, but you got to have the ability for me to have an optional, dampener. And he's like, no, it's perfect the way it is. I'm like, so you're just ignoring that like 5 or 6 videos of this guy talking about it? And he's like, well, it's the way he's riding. I'm like, I don't think so. This guy's an advanced rider. You could tell this isn't his first rodeo, and I think the stem is too skinny. And like what Louis hates, go ahead. The suspension, you hate that it doesn't have the front, right?
Yeah, I don't like that it doesn't have it in the front.
Yeah,
because the front is what hits first. Like anything that hits in the front, like it's going to affect the performance and ride quality.
And he's telling you, hey, you can ride this thing anywhere on the street and everything. I'm like, dude, this thing is literally just set up for track. I mean, come on, man. And he just wouldn't give me any options to create a dampener of some sort. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, when you realize that you're wrong, and you make the second version, then call me up and let me know, because I'm not going to pay, whatever he was going to give me as a discount, for a scooter that I'm going to die on, because God forbid you're not paying attention for 1 full minute.
Yeah.
It's not like you can accidentally forget for 15 minutes, guys. It's like, uh-oh, I forgot to pay 100% attention and take 3 Adderalls so I don't die. I mean, this thing is what, 85-mile-an-hour scooter or some shit like
it's
that.
fast.
I mean,
he was
yeah.
giving you a discount to your death. That's what he was giving you a discount to.
Well, yeah, we all don't want to end up like Louis, when he had that issue that, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm not going to walk away, right, Scooter Guy? There's no walking away from 80.
No.
No.
No, that's just too much.
There's flying from 80. There's flying, definitely. You're gonna fly.
Oh yeah.
There's no walking away.
Yeah. Drooling.
You might get
drooling
wings right after.
Yeah. I'll be able to sneeze and bleed out of my ears for the rest of my life, right? Like, you fart and blood comes out of your eyes, Yeah, I'm good, right? So either way, the GT2 RS is an awesome scooter, but Louis and I have some pretty cool news. I mean, should we tell it now?
Should we? I had a list, and I kind of had that at the last part of the list, but
I know, but
I'm trying to keep this podcast at under an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
should we?
Let's lead them all on, so they have to watch the very end. Let's keep going.
All right, cool.
Let's lead them all on.
Well then, I think it would be a good idea to talk about lighting. There's a couple people that had come up on my channel and they asked about what would be great lighting options for their scooters. And seeing that Electric Scooter Guy has the Apollo Go and it has that amazing lighting on the stem and also on the deck, or not on the deck, but on the stem, it's a good idea to talk about it. So I was wondering, besides what I have, if any of you guys have had any extra lighting that you guys have bought and that you might recommend to people on all of our channels.
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably all of us have. Louis, I think you did the most obsessive research period to light the RS. Yeah. Well, because if you remember,
he always does.
All of us were literally there was about 40 of us that were for about a month there. Were constantly buying, from Amazon, different lights and then giving review and returning them. And Louis kind of came up with the best system. You and what's the guy, the redheaded guy that has a scooter channel? What's his name?
Oh, isn't it Ginger on Wheels?
Ginger on Wheels came up with a good setup, and I think he kind of got it from you on the perfect way to do it. So, I think of all people, you should show some of the lights that you're utilizing that will work for any scooter, really, because you've been through all the trial and error.
There's one light that I can recommend because the other lights, you have to use a separate battery pack and you have to use a bag. And then depending on the scooter design, you might not be able to do that. So let me get it.
Magic light is that one. Yeah.
This one here is called an Acronym light. So you can kind of see it there a little bit. I don't know. There you go.
There it is. Right there.
Yeah, because this thing is on autofocus. But you can see this light. And the cool part about it is that it can mount on just about any handlebar. So it does come with a bracket to install it on a handlebar. It's about $45, so it's not that expensive. And it has
That's Amazon, right?
And it has 8 amp hours of power on this thing. So it can last for several hours before it dies out. And it charges under USB-C. So it's pretty cool. And it lights up when you turn it on. This is literally setting number 1. It's really bright. It's almost cutting everything off the camera.
I almost went into the light.
Can you theoretically plug that into a battery bank and keep it on at the same time? Will it stay on and charge at the same time?
I haven't tried doing that, but what I have tried doing is charging my phone with it. And it does work through USB-C. The only problem is that it charges at 500 milliamp hours, so it doesn't. It kind of does trickle charging, but it works.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried
Slow
doing
charge.
that. But it does stay on for about 3 hours on the first setting that you guys literally just seen. So if you have all 5 lights on, it'll only last about 2 hours. But it's pretty cool for $45. And you can just get
you run a 1 or 2
extender and add it. Huh?
You run a 1 or 2?
I actually have multiple of these, but because almost all my scooters have this one.
A single light you're running, or are you running dual lights of those on each scooter?
On this one, just single.
Single.
So,
okay, everybody, single.
So what I like about this one is that it has a nice wide spread on the ground, and you can easily adjust it so it can be really bright, almost like the same power of a regular like HID light on a car, but out of this thing.
Listen,
Yeah.
you got my vote for head light engineer. I'm gonna tell Melvin to please hire you.
Well, he's also Magic Shine also makes a great light that I brought out for you guys to see, especially you guys that want to have more of a controlled throw. The RN 3000, I believe it's called. Yeah, the RN 3000 you see here. This is great. I will. This is on average, if you get it on sale, it's maybe around 89, 90. During Christmas once I got it for 60, but I'll run dual, one on the left side and one on the right side, and it gives you an amazing tight throw. It's I believe it's 3000 lumen, but I know a lot of people are running like 6, 8. I think Louis is the 8000 lumen yours.
Yeah.
So, but because it's a tight throw and you do them side by side, you get one higher and one lower, and then you have your manufacturer crappy light always in the middle. You get really controlled lighting. This is, I think, better for situations when you're going down streets that don't have a lot of lighting, where Louis is, I think a little more where you have some light around you, I think, because it doesn't have a really far throw to it, right?
Yeah.
Your lighting's more like in front, like really bright in front, but you can't really throw very controlled far lighting.
It doesn't go too far, but it's like a 25 foot distance at max. So it's kind of like the standard type of lighting, but it does.
And it is nice to light up when you guys are going really fast like that. Having the his kind of lighting when you're riding, I think maybe 20s and 30s in like moderately lit, town areas, it's really good because you're going to see potholes and stuff with Louis really, really well. I think that setup is for people that, maybe are going down like main roads and cities and stuff like that. It's good for that.
Is it possible that we could have in the description of this video just links, maybe, if possible, to the two lights so people can see them?
Yes, absolutely. We will do that.
Yeah. You guys, what are you guys running on yours? Just your stock lights?
Now, I'm running stock lights, and unfortunately, my scooter is still in the shop. My scooter's, I don't think you know, but I bought an off-brand type of scooter, and I was modding it, and unfortunately, I blew out the controller. And I've been waiting since October of last year to get my scooter fixed. And I spoke to the guy that's fixing my scooter. He said it should be done by next month. So I'm hoping and praying, but if not, I don't know. I'm gonna buy something else. I just don't know what yet. I'm still looking, and they're we all know there's.
Well, make sure you completely surprise us if we give you a bunch of suggestions. Just go completely right field and surprise us. We're used to that in this forum, right?
I'm gonna go right field and surprise you guys.
Okay. All right.
We got to give you a little bit of crap, Scoot. We got to give you a little bit of crap. I mean, we were filling dead air there with all this good stuff. You could have said Apollo did this. I
didn't know. I didn't even know at the time.
I think Apollo's great though, but for you, Tiger, do you know what kind of pricing because a lot of these people out there, I think are where you're at to get a second scooter, and you want to get something in the price range that's most affordable for you. So what would you theoretically be looking for price range first? Like
a mid type of scooter. So I just want to probably bump it up a little bit, but at the same time, I was looking at the RS first, but then I was
thinking like $3,000? $4,000?
There, like the $3,000 mark, probably like three,
so
maybe
3,500 max.
Yeah, like around there, probably max it out.
Okay, so now everybody's here in the world that you're looking at that price point, and that does open up a lot of ideas, right?
It does.
That does, bro. So what are you thinking, Tiger? For what?
Well, first I was looking at the RS, right? And then I was hearing about, some of the issues that the RS has. And I also heard about the upgrades they're doing to it for the new 2025 model. I was looking at that. I was looking at the Terra Run. the Supreme Fighter. I know they're coming out with a newer version of it, and then of course of the Project Daytona. We seen that. We seen that they're gonna come out with it soon. So I'm just looking at all kinds of different stuff, but I'm also waiting for them to to release it, so we could see what's going on and compare each one from there.
No, that's really
So
So you
good
don't want to
because you
be
get
the
to
guinea pig.
yeah, because it's better to see some reviews online. The only
Mhm.
thing is that when you get reviewers that get the scooters free of charge and they also get paid to review them, it's kind of hard to take their information seriously. So they can
yeah.
claim that they're going to be honest, but at the end of the day, they're still being paid to like do it as a job. So
I mean, we
Yeah.
see many people that review scooters, and they only tell you the positives about it, but they don't tell you the negatives. They don't have like a long review of the scooter about the potential risks they have, or like any type of issues you could run into, or even how to fix those issues, or what's the process to do it. And I feel like that's when we come in, as the group that we are in, and we go and tell people like, hey, this scooter's great, but you can have this right here happen to you. It's happened to me, and this is the
yeah,
way that you could possibly solve it. You know?
A follow up would be nice in any of these reviews that they do. They never follow up and tell us
Nope.
what it's like after 500 miles.
They don't ride them
You
for
know,
500 miles.
yeah.
They test them and then they throw
right.
them in the back of a storage or whatever,
Or they get
and
rid of
pull
them,
them
they
out for
sell
a
them.
video. Exactly.
It's when it stops when the code stops being purchased is when they stop caring about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. When the
I mean,
trend
let's
starts
be
to-
honest here. I mean, that brings up a good point, Louis. You know, there's mumble out there about you falsifying your
Yeah,
professionalism of your interests, you know, and
yeah. So
financially.
a video kind of surfaced up on YouTube, and
Hmm.
the I'm not gonna bother to put this person on blast or anything, but he basically mentioned my channel without mentioning it. So he showed some like little cue interests of what that person's channel is all about, and basically what he did was he was calling me dishonest about the scooters that I review because I have like affiliated links for like earning a slight kickback, and the kickback is only 5%, so it's not like it really matters much.
And let's be
the
honest, the ones that you're getting a kickback on are the ones that you truly enjoy. You're not just getting a financial influence by some manufacturer that's telling you to push their scooter.
Yeah, exactly. And on
So,
top of that,
hell
like
of
the
a
ones that I have the
difference.
links for, like I paid for it,
Right.
the RS, I paid full price for it, and I had to wait about 3 months to
Certainly
get it.
did.
Yeah, and the same thing with the Roadrunner Pro. I mean, I use Yogi Steve's discount code, but all I got was just $50 off on the scooter. So
There's
but I
nothing
bought it.
wrong with you getting something for a scooter that you love and that you're getting discount codes to people to purchase it because you're actually promoting a scooter that is you believe is safe that you're riding,
Yeah.
or even if it may not be one in the future, but it's probably going to be one that's really well researched and that you really want super bad.
Yeah.
You know, that you're, like, I don't care. Let's talk about the badass Vora one you've always wanted. What's the main one, the expensive one?
Roadster.
The Roadster.
Yeah, the Roadster. You know what the Roadster is. You've
Yes.
researched the Roadster, just
I
like
did.
every user out there. You worship the Roadster,
Yeah.
so you feel confident in promoting it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like if I had the unit, I definitely would.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I-
there you go.
I like things.
You're not going to do right. You may not like, let's say, push Go Tracks or something, and you know Go Tracks is a real crappy scooter company, and they don't ever have parts and things like that, issues all the time. You wouldn't go and
it's 'cause,
promote
like,
something like that.
I did
right?
a video on it almost 2 years ago. It was in 2023, and it was the first video that surfaced on YouTube. And the only reason why I was able to do that is because of the Rider Fest event that Voro Motors and Rider Guide put together, and I was able to go to it. And I liked the
for the
GoTrax
Roadster?
GX3. So GX3 was
Oh,
a
for
really
the
nice
Go-Trax.
scooter.
Yeah.
It was a really nice scooter. I really liked it a lot. But like when I started noticing that people were having issues and they were reporting it under the comments section on the channel for that specific video, I started doing some research and started noticing that they had parts available to purchase, but when it came to warranty replacement parts, like you couldn't get a hold of anybody.
And there's a
there
lot
were
of scooters
so-
like that. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Tiger right now. Look at Tiger. Same situation. He's involved with a scooter that he actually likes, but he can't get it repaired. He's losing hope. Why push? Would you push that kind of product, Tiger? Would you do that?
Nope.
Okay, so you're only going to promote what you actually love, so your users don't think that you're full of shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like a good
That's, I
example was
think,
that
what
little
Louis trying
Coroma
to
scooter
do.
I got. That Coroma scooter I got. It was a nice little scooter, but I couldn't like fully recommend it to most people because it had a really small battery. It was like 48 volts, 7.8 amp hours. So I only got like maybe 11 miles of range at its max speed of like 22 miles an hour. That's not good enough for most people. And it had a really hard, like, it had a hard ride. The little spring suspension they added was pretty useless. Every time you would go over a sidewalk bump, it would just smack against the bottom of the frame of the body. So it just wasn't good. So I completely stopped promoting it. Like I only did one video and that was about it. In fact, they didn't even bother to put the video on their channel like they were supposed to. So we just left it as is.
I don't know who this person is, but anybody that's over here saying that is very me personally is dishonest and very disingenuous, because you average guy made one of the most best video about the RS, about the stabilization of how to fix it, that anybody out here. You made like a very important video about that other people actually recommended it.
You saved lives.
Yeah,
you saved lives with that video.
So I don't know who this person is, and I wouldn't even waste my time.
No, I just thought it was pretty sad that he did that, because he talked about our recent podcast, technically speaking, but the way he worded himself, it was like he was talking about us, but without actually mentioning our names. So it was pretty crazy.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, dude.
Just have to hit me on Instagram with that link or something. I gotta watch this.
But let's be honest.
Will.
There's
But
a
what
difference.
I'm going to ask you to do is just to like remain silent about the person, so we don't get into like any issues. So like what we're talking about right now,
I'm not
mentioning his name, but it's kind of weird.
Curious.
I mean, the guy even talked about our microphones like as a form of trying to get back at us or something, like, which it was just really weird. If you watch the whole video,
why.
Yeah, I don't get it, but it's just
this
weird.
could be fun.
So apparently we had rainbows and unicorns coming out of our ass. So that was in there. That was in there.
Well, one last point with all this, though, the difference between Louis and the other guys out there that are promoting these scooters, a lot of them are sponsored by the manufacturer to promote all of the actual scooters that they have. They're promoting everything they can because they're getting money as sponsored people. There's a difference between having a promotion code for the scooter that you're pushing because you love it and you may be able to get some sort of financial kickback. That's a hell of a difference, because you're not going to promote the entire brand. You're picking one out. You're saying, hey, I love the RS, but that's the one I like. You're not talking about the Climber, and you're not talking about, the unicycles. You're not bringing up the entirety of it all. So, I think this gentleman has confusion about financial gain for, individual, situations versus, I've got the brand across my chest and I'm going to push this. I don't care if it's good or not.
He was a little negative about what I had spoke on the previous podcast about anybody wanting to ask us questions that they can ask without having to worry about paying a super chat just to get your question answered. And he got mad about it, talking about he wants to make money out of these things or out of his channel. And I was like, that's great for you, but for me, that doesn't work, because for one, the income I generate with my job requires me to pay taxes. So if I monetize my YouTube channel, I have to pay taxes on that too. So I'd rather like not even bother with that. But that's like,
no, we gave this guy enough time. Let's move on. He doesn't deserve it.
No, absolutely. Again, I will share the links privately with you guys on this, so you guys can check it out and you can see. You're going to be able to tell, and you're going to trip out who it is. But again, let's remain quiet on this person's name so that we won't have any issues with them later on. But it just surprised me because I had a lot of respect for this guy, and
Yo,
he kind of lost me there.
real quick, I would like to say something, and
Mhm.
I would like to say that electric scooter guy and the average guy, the way I met him was actually by commenting on their videos, and they've been really nice, answered whatever questions that I had to answer, like like they've been genuine from the start. We wouldn't recommend anything bad to anybody, and I don't know what's going on over here, but this guy is I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Thank
trippy
you.
thing.
Legit.
It's
Thank
like
you.
the same thing with the Cruiser V2 that I have right now. Like some of you guys know, I'm able to borrow scooters from Vora Motors. And when I borrow them, I get to put them through the test. And something that not that many people know is that I'm part of the product development team. And it's kind of dumb, but it's because I'm a heavy rider that I'm able to benefit from these things because I do range test videos on these scooters. And then when I give that information back to Melvin, he gets to like calculate and adjust the range realistically for a rider. And then he like adjusts the information on the website. So when people click on that scooter that I've already reviewed, they can actually see what they actually got. So like I came across a charging issue with the Cruiser V2 and I immediately figured out what it was and posted a quick video showing what to do in case your scooter doesn't want to charge, something to check on that scooter.
Yeah, I
So
saw
that was just part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to being honest, right? I mean, it's it's not like that if you see a video where there's something negative about a scooter, doesn't mean that you don't want to buy the scooter. It just means that hey, here's the heads up. You might want, you might have to deal with this problem. If it's not something that you don't want to deal with, you might not want to look at this.
I mean, we're
scooter.
supposed to be the average guys here, right? We
Yep.
really are. Like it's, we're supposed to be, as I think we presented before, and I'm just a guest, but I can
Mhm.
tell you, from that last, meeting we had, there was a lot of responses as
Yes,
we all
very
predicted
positive.
of people
Mhm.
saying, hey, here's really what's going on. Okay, tell me about those pads. The guy wanted to know your pads, Louis, the best,
Mhm.
there's these people need to hear, what makes it fun, and what makes it a great hobby and what to steer away from. I mean, regardless, Scooter Guy and Tiger, you guys are, very much new as far as scooter users, but
Mhm.
you guys have done your homework over and
Yes.
over and over again to make the right decisions and pull the triggers. So you're the researchers. You two have researched your butts off, where I think Louis and I, just kind of went for it over the years. But remember, Louis and I have been doing this for what, 4 years?
About 4 years, give or take.
So it makes sense. You guys are, I think Scoot, you said you were what, 6 months in or a year, somewhere near?
Yeah, 6 8 months. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah. How about you,
I'm a year
Tiger?
in. Yeah, I'm a year in
Yeah.
also. I'm very new to this, and I
They
really
need to
didn't
hear
know.
that though. The
Yeah.
the people out there need guys like you to relate to.
Yeah, no, I'm new to the space, and I feel like there's like limited knowledge out here, and
Mhm.
or about fixing the scooters or about the scooters really, and I feel like that's a niche that we come into because we don't always say positives about the scooters. We also tell the negatives about it. So we like to have people aware about everything that's out here and give people experience from people that are professionals who have been riding scooters for a long time and people like me that I'm just new. I'm just getting into this, but I've been
It's well-rounded.
Yeah.
It's well-rounded.
Well,
I mean, Scoot's got a lot of experience, I think, just generally with tinkering. I think Scooter could probably put anything together he wants. He's just picking things out to keep himself busy. And obviously, average guy is like myself, obsessive and wants to, have a really detailed hobby that keeps him busy during when he's not working.
Yeah.
And with all of us together here, I think that your average listener or watcher, having this well-rounded opinions that we had is more valuable than one single guy riding a scooter around in the wind and talking about the review of the scooter he's currently on. This is better this way, I think, in a lot of situations for these people out there.
No, yeah, absolutely. That is very true. To get out of this guy's topic thing, another thing that came about was talking about locks for your scooters. So in case you like go to a grocery store with one or you go to school with one, there's a lot of options there. I have 3 locks that I use. Neither of them are perfect. All of the ones that I have, they can be cut with like an angle grinder, but depending the level of the lock and also the price of the lock, it'll have more security and a much harder time to cut. One of the really popular locks is the New York Forget About It lock, and I actually have that one. In fact, let me show it to you guys real quick. I have 3 locks here. Let me put this one here because this is still in the box. But this is the Forget About It lock. So it's a really thick lock. It's about 3/4 inch thick. So it's a really heavy lock. However, I have heard of this lock actually getting broken from the ends here with the grinder, but it takes a couple blades to be able to cut it and it'll make a lot of noise. But depending where you have your scooter lock, this may or may not be able to protect your scooter from being stolen, but it's just something to take into account that for the most part, if you're in front of a store and you lock this in that, front of the store area, you probably won't have a problem using this. Oh,
It's
go
gonna
ahead,
probably
please.
take a while to cut through that.
Yeah, it's
By
a
the time
really
you
thick
get
lock.
it,
It's not tiny. Look at this thing.
yeah, look at that
Like,
thing.
here's my hand.
Yeah.
This thing's thick. And I have another one that's even bigger than this one that I purchased
What?
as well. Because one of my
That's what she
complaints of
said.
this lock, that's funny. One of my complaints about this lock is that this inner part right here is not that long. I wish it was about 2 inches longer so that I can put it through like the stem or the neck of the scooter onto like a fence or something to be able to lock it. So I went and I spent a little bit more, and I was one of the first backers of this lock. This one right here. It's a
Good Lord.
Lock DX1000. This thing is about $400, and I literally am one of the backers, which I'm pretty proud of this because I got it for a little bit under 400, but everybody else
What's
is
the
gonna be
weight?
paying. Yeah, it's about
What's the
5
weight?
pounds. So this is
All
the DX1000, and this
Yeah.
right here is a Forget About It lock.
Listen,
How much does that one weigh?
This one is 5 pounds, and this one's about 4.
I could take that to the gym with me.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it to like lift up.
That's a couple of presents right there.
Yeah, so this
with
is
the
I mean, look at this. This is really thick.
and the nice part with the locking, a lot of people don't realize is when you go to Target or any of the main stores like that, you actually can ask the administration or the door people, and you can bring a lot of times your scooters just inside the door next to the electric wheelchairs and things like that. A lot of people don't know that they will let you go in there. A lot of them will. I do it constantly where I say, hey, can I bring it a little closer? Or if you are at a place that won't let you bring it in, like a grocery store or something, a lot of times they have door people and you can just say, hey, man, we just keep an eye on it. That on top of your additional locking mechanisms is great. And then obviously with the more advanced scooters that I think now, actually, electric scooter guy, you now probably have the locking application now on your scooter, don't you?
I don't think I do. I don't think I have a locking
You
on the
don't?
go.
They
Not
don't
on the
have that
go.
app?
I have an app, but I don't think I can lock it on the go. If I can,
wonder.
I haven't found it yet.
I wonder, man.
I don't know. I think you can, but I'm not sure.
That'd be a good one to check out, bro, because
Yeah.
like Louis and I have those on all of our hyper scooters. All of them come with generally some sort of additional locking app that will secure it from the tires not allowing it to move and
Yeah, like the
making
RS can do that.
sounds. The RS can. My RX-7 does not, but it's key driven. So, you just shut it off. And my GT2 RS, that doesn't as well. That has a key though. And we know that GT1 and GT2 Segways have theirs.
They do.
They're nice ones. Really
they're
nice.
like the RS where if you lock it, the scooter doesn't move either forward or back, just like the
It'll
RS.
fight you.
It'll
fight you.
The only thing is that
it's really cool.
not as excessive as the RS, where like the RS has the horn that throws off as well as the flashing lights. Other than the
GT2 does.
Yeah.
GT2 does. Yeah.
The GT1 that I have doesn't, so it kind of sucks, but it does have the locking mechanism for it. And even the
But you also can purchase, aftermarket little alarms, like Louis got the horn combo. that actually has an alarm on it. That's a really good. I mean, that you should be put that in the link, man.
I am.
Anybody
I will share
that
that
has
in
a
the link because
crappy
I have shared it
manufacturer
before.
horn,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great
Especially
one.
like my son's solar
Solar.
EQ. That one has a crappy like electronic horn.
Oh, it's the
And
worst. The
yeah,
worst.
it doesn't work good.
Yeah.
So I bought this horn that attaches to the stem, and it does have a cable wire that's for the button for the horn. But
The
it
thumb,
has
yeah.
it literally has a little like a keychain. Oh, in fact, I have it right here. So let me
Oh,
put
good.
this giant lock away.
Yeah,
So-
you might don't drop that on your foot.
Oh, I know, right? But it comes with the little lock like this. Maybe you can see it. There you go. See that? It's like a little key ring, and
Mhm.
you
Right.
can kind of see it there. There you go. But this thing lets you lock and unlock the scooter. And when you lock
And-
it, if you slightly move it, the horn goes off like crazy. And it won't stop
Great.
until you stop moving the scooter. And this
you
was
can
only
turn it
like
up.
$50.
You can turn up, and if you really want to have fun, if you're sitting out in a restaurant and you have the scooter like just outside with that remote he has, you can actually make it beep manually.
Yeah, you can.
So it's fun. You just beep when people walk by or screw with them a little bit. It's kind of fun to do.
Or
Yeah.
someone
My son
trying to
does
mess
it
with
all
it,
the
you can
time
just
to people.
you can
Yeah.
push the remote and it'll
Yeah,
sound
those are
off
great.
manually.
There's a lot you can get on AliExpress too. That I have it on my Wolf King because my Wolf King didn't come with one. It's a little older, as you know. Wolf King's been out about 4 or 5 years now, and I put the aftermarket, like just the alarm one, where you just slightly move it and it goes off. I think it was like $13. So you need to get that scooter guy right away, at least if you don't have it. At least the alarm that are cheap on Amazon and stuff.
Mhm,
I got the
especially for your
NFC.
Go.
Yeah,
Well,
I got the
NFC 's good
NFC
too.
lockout on the Klima, so that's and I have a U lock and a big cable. Like I use a
Well,
super
just
big
some
cable.
sound. It's
Uh,
good to scare them away with sound.
And then I have an
Yeah.
AirTag hidden on the Klima as well. I haven't found a place yet to put one on the go, but I'll be putting an AirTag on there as well.
Yeah,
But
real
yeah,
quick,
Yeah.
with the new screen that you're getting for the Lanfetti, I think that's how you said it.
Length
It
feet.
will have it in
Length
that-
feet.
Yeah,
the
Say again.
line feet.
Will it have it on the new screen?
Say it again.
Will it have it like some type of locking mechanism with the new screen?
It will.
It
It'll
will.
have the exact same kind of feature that we have on the RS. It has the one thing that the owner made it clear about is that they kind of underbuilt the software, so they have the ability to upgrade it anytime they want, like they did with the GT2 Segway. A lot of people don't really talk about that much, but the Segway was phenomenal because I got the GT2 when it first came out, and that thing was $5,000, by the way, when it first came out. And I got the Segway, the Transformer version, which was what made it $5,000. They were $4,500. It was $500 to get the Transformer version. So it came with a speaker that is still no one's done, where the speaker, the 9-baud speaker, actually is connected to the scooter through a Bluetooth function that gives me motor sound. And
Yeah.
you can change it to like a transformer sound or a motorcycle, or I don't care, like a big V8 or
Yeah,
whatever.
even a moped sound.
Yeah, it's really fun. But where was I going with this? I lost my place.
Regarding the sounds for like a security type like
Yeah,
a different form of security.
They did all kinds of like continuous updates still to this day. Like all of a sudden, after like 8 months of the scooter, of driving the GT2 around, they're like, there's an update. And now when your alarm goes off, your whole scooter's going to vibrate. And we didn't even know we had haptic feedback on the scooter. All of a sudden we have it. It was the craziest thing. And they're still the only ones to do really drastic changes without your knowledge that they have these pre-built mechanisms inside the scooter that they're going to utilize later. I mean,
Yeah, they did it on
hats
the
off to
GT1 as
Segway.
well.
I didn't even know
I
that.
mean, it surprised the shit out of us. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't know I had these features.
Yeah,
You
I was
know, and then
surprised
they
to have it
did
on the
the-
GT1.
Right?
maybe
the
they just
GT1
tapped
has it
into
too.
the motors and kind of started wiggling the motors a little bit. They
I
didn't
mean,
really have to, do anything.
Yeah.
Just a little coding, a little firmware update, and it starts shaking all over the
They
place.
even sped it up. They did faster launch times out of it. They
gave a boost to the acceleration to make it faster.
And that I love, and I can tell you, because I think we're all suckers for great updates, like we are with our phones, like a platform update.
Yeah,
I think I think people should have taken a page from that for their own manufacturing. That, you know, put this stuff in there and make it future updates that keeps refreshing the scooter. You keep the attention of your users. You know, that was really neat.
Yeah. So I'm like you on that with the GT1, because I was pretty upset when I right after I bought it, because I bought it for about $2,400, and about a month and a half later, it went on sale for $1,600.
Oh man,
man, what a punch in the gut!
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, the GT1 and the GT2, like the GT2 is so much better of a scooter, and and it has a see-through AMOLED display. You know, it really is. People forget it because it's been around so long.
Yeah.
But it is a marvel in itself. The build quality, it was one of the first scooters to have adjustable shocks. I mean, it was the fastest launching scooter for like a year straight. Like there were scooters that were going like 60, like the Wolf King, and the Segway GT2 could launch from 0 to 30 faster than the freaking GT2. I mean, the Wolf King GT that was going 63 versus 43 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is debating getting the GT2 still, you should absolutely do it. And that does make a wonderful second scooter, by the way, Tiger, because it's really well priced right now.
Yeah.
And it's full of stuff, man. You've got the rear tail that has 12 different lightings. You know, it's got the best turn signals. It does. There's
but they're
nothing
discontinuing
better.
it.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, get it now while you can. And then they have an amazing cruise control, because you can press a button like you can on the RS, and it turns on with just the button rather than the bullshit one that does it with speed and scares you because it turns on without your knowledge.
I mentioned that about the Cruiser V2 on the video that I did. You have to like press and hold down the throttle at a very steady speed in order to get that thing to turn on. And I hate that. That sucks.
Hate it. I don't turn them on.
Like that.
Me either.
If you don't have the button, there is no reason to ever turn on your cruise control, because you will accidentally make a mistake one day that could cost you your life. If you're driving quickly, you could run into the back of a car, because a lot of people will freak out when it's taking over and they're going to hit the wrong button and they're going to whiskey throttle. So everybody that's an advanced rider shuts theirs off. If you're somebody that's over 40, we should have talked about that a long time ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's better to shut it off. Even Paul, Paul, who used to work for Rider Guide, he said the same thing. Like when it comes to cruise control, he turns it off. He does not leave it on for the same reason.
Unless it's button enabled, and they all should be required to only have button enabled for safety features, period. You shouldn't be able to. Yeah,
I actually have to hit two different things at the same time in order to engage. Yeah, I think it's the plus sign or the minus sign, and then I have to be holding the throttle at the same time.
What are you doing? Using your toe for the other handle?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's dangerous as hell, man.
It's very intentional. It's very intentional. You can't do it by accident on the Klima at all.
Click the plus, click the minus, stick a foot out.
Yeah, right.
When a lot of people use cruise control, some of the reasons why there's always some kind of accident is because most people would like react with the throttle, thinking if they let go of the throttle, it would automatically disengage cruise control. When in reality, it's the brake levers. If you can't think quickly when you're right behind the car and you don't push on the brake levers to disengage cruise control, you can hit the car and fall off.
Welcome to the bumper.
So that's the scary part about that.
I've almost done it. I forgot to shut it off when I got the GT2 RS. I didn't even know it was on. And I was going about 68 and I didn't know it was on. And I let go to slow down, like naturally slow down. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? And I had to remember to hit the brake to disengage it, so it scared me. I mean, you got to remember when you unbox these scooters, for some reason, a lot of times they have the cruise control enabled.
Yeah.
The Journey Max, you can't turn it off. Like there's no way to do it. And so I had to constantly get into the habit of, and luckily it beeps, when it engages.
Right.
I would just tap not releasing the throttle, but tapping it again.
The throttle.
Yeah, I had to double tap the accelerator to get it to cut off. And I got into the habit of literally like doing it every time I heard the beep. It was just like, I'd have to click it. So it was just became like I didn't have to think about it. But I didn't like that at all. Like I said, there's no way to disengage it. Otherwise, I disengage it or I don't really use it. So it doesn't really bother me to not have it.
I'll tell you a scary moment that I had. I was testing out one of my friend's scooter, and he bought like one of those no-name brand scooters from China. The throttle,
like yours?
Yeah. What was it?
Like yours?
Yeah, like mine. So
yeah, gotcha.
And the throttle got stuck at me going like 65 miles per hour.
Oh wow!
Damn.
On regular traffic. And I almost sold the Lord. So that's why I don't recommend them anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Thanks.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
That's the scary part about certain scooters. It just depends, like the brand, the features they have available, and that's why when it comes to people reviewing scooters, it's important to like take a look at the owner's manual, and if there's something that's not there, ask questions to the manufacturer.
Always watch a user video.
Yeah.
Always watch a user video. And controllers matter, guys. I mean, that's why, like, no offense, Tiger, but, buying these off-brand Chinese things and you don't know the controllers, I can't stress it enough that you have to have a sine wave. If you don't have one, you're going to have overheating issues. You're going to have too much torque. You're going to have erratic behavior, there's just, you have to run, square wave obviously are around, for the dual Tron limited X limited, because it's a 200-pound scooter.
It's heavy.
And that's made for more of the torquey scooters. Mine is the first to have the GT2 RS is the first to have a sine wave at that weight. Like I didn't even think you could do it because sine waves really initially weren't for heavier scooters like that. But they sure as hell set the torque settings for it, just like the square wave, Louis. So, and you cannot manipulate each gear like you can with the GT2 or the Dualtrons, or I think, can you do it with the Apollo scooter guy?
Yeah, you can can go in the app and adjust everything in there.
Oh, see, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger, we got to get you in something good, man. You're making me nervous.
I want to surprise you guys. I want to surprise
you in something good. You should go with the Yumi Predator. I keep saying this, man, and so do the other two guys. Freaking Yumi is such a good scooter brand, and none of us own one still. What the hell is wrong with us?
I was the one recommending the Yumi and talking about it in the last few videos.
Yeah,
you're the first Yumi guy then.
Facts.
I don't know. Let's see.
Get the Predator, bro. Get the Predator, because that's the best of both worlds.
I know, 72 volts, 50 amp hours for that battery.
That's a big one.
Water-cooled controllers.
Yes.
13-inch tires.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this scooter is begging to be bought by one of us four. And
I might
even
have
the tires. Have you seen those tires? Are very unique as well, because they're kind of an all-terrain, and they have tread all the way up to the edge to keep you from sliding on roads. I mean, they're loud. They're really loud tires.
Yeah.
But
they're like hybrid tires,
really
I think.
Cool. Yeah, I like them. I don't think I'd like the sound just because I'm a street tire guy for so long, and so are you, Louis.
Yeah.
But, Tiger, this would be his second scooter, of his faster scooter. I think that would be perfect for you, buddy. That's the one. We picked it out for you.
Yeah, because we still got to reveal what we got going as well, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, just really quick, not to get out of the subject of this, but I did wanted to mention one more lock as an option. So I bought this one at Voro Motor, so it's still in its box. So this one's called the E-Cuffs, and it basically has the shape of a cuff, and it's perfect for like e-bikes. I actually recommend this more for e-bikes than let's say scooters, because of the way the lock is designed. So I can't really get it out of its package because I forgot to take off the zip ties. But this is the way it looks, and the cuff works really well for like e-bikes because you could put them like on the fork on either side of the e-bike or scooter if you're able to do that, and then put that on a bike rack and lock it up. So it's a pretty good lock. It's not as nice as the other two locks that I showed, but it's a lot cheaper at about $45. So I actually bought
Is it
this.
less heavy?
What happened?
Is it less heavy?
It's way less heavy. In fact, it even comes with a mount so that you can actually attach it to your scooter or e-bike. Yeah. So I actually bought this for my son because I'm planning on buying him the Roadrunner V3 that I reviewed a while back. And I bought this for that V3 so he can take it to school.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty cool like a lock there. And it's pretty cheap. I got it at Voro Motors. So there was no like promotion or anything. I just bought it. I seen it and I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And I bought the lock, online from them.
In the description, we put that one in the description.
Yep, absolutely. Because that's a really cheap lock compared to the other ones. So it's like under $50 for the lock. So I think it's pretty cool. And it comes with 2 keys and it's in a really nice design. It's lightweight. They look like handcuffs. So that's a pretty cool design. That's the main reason why I bought it, because they look like handcuffs.
I like it.
I'm waiting for this surprise that you guys keep telling me about.
All right, then, man. I guess we should really start talking about it then, because we do got about maybe another 15 minutes before we should try ending the podcast, so it won't be too long. Did you want to start first?
Oh, you start.
Okay. So you guys know that I've been starting to look around for another scooter. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been looking at everything from like the Project Daytona scooter that I was interested in, because I feel like it's a pretty nice one for like heavy riders, especially anyone that's tall. And
the Yumi,
the Yumi Predator as well. That was also in my radar. And then also the Teveron scooters. And I was debating between the 3, and I made up a choice, and I actually pulled the trigger, and I already bought it. But it's going to be about 4 months before it actually arrives, because it's a little bit back ordered, especially from where I bought it from. So I went with the Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra 7260.
Nice.
Go.
Yeah,
buddy.
Let's
so I got
go.
it for
Nice.
about $3,900. So
Nice.
I think it's pretty cool. It does come with the 84 volt 5 amp charger, and you could buy
Monster
an extra
battery.
one. So yeah, monster battery, 72 volts, 60 amps, dude. So that's gonna give me like range galore.
And they're
Where'd you get it
giving him
from?
a second charger for free.
Yeah,
In there. You always
yeah,
forget
because
that.
it
They're
has
giving you a second
2
charger.
charging ports. It's on the front, but it's on the left side and on the right side.
Right. Yeah.
Has little
Nice.
rubber covers on
Is
it.
this the new one? Is this the updated one?
I think
No,
it's the one that
see,
says
now-
2024, because I got the 11-inch tire one that comes with 1 steering damper.
And
So
then
I
that
went with
leads
that
into,
one.
right?
Yeah,
It leads
I went with
into
that one
the updated
because-
one.
Yeah, I got that one because it's not as tall from the stem, so it kind of works out for somebody at my height at 5'6".
Right. So speaking of the 2025 version of the 7260R Fighter Supreme, that will be at my doorstep in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So we both
Nice.
are testing both of these
Yeah,
to see their pros and cons. Now, we all know the Ultra has been tested out there. There's videos,
yeah. There's videos.
but there is 0 videos on the 2025 7260R, this version, which still has 2 dampers. But they have definitely revised it, right, Louis?
Yeah, they have. So it still does have 13-inch tires, but they made it a lot better, and they're guaranteeing that this time with the redesign of like front swing arm, it's supposed to be a lot more stable. So Mo decided to give it a shot and put it through its paces and see if that like what they're saying is true or if it's a bunch of BS. And because we bought them with our own money, we can be 100% honest and be like straightforward and be like, you
Right.
know what? Yeah, this scooter is safe or it's not safe.
Where do you
And
guys
once
get 'em
again,
from?
you know, Super Scoot is where I got mine from. Is going to take a little longer to get. I was lucky enough that they had one. Here's the cool part about those guys. First off, Louis found them.
Yeah.
And because we kept, I mean, look, be honest to all these viewers out there. You want to talk about two guys that sit there over and over again and are looking at every website, you know, and who's selling it and putting our finger over the cart and saying, wait a minute, let's talk about it some more. Who is the seller? You know, and the problem is with these, like he said in the last video, with these Teverons, there's kind of only scumbags out there selling them out of their scooter shops, except Louis found this Canadian, amazing guy. I'm talking like amazing seller.
And they sell to the US as well.
Financial gain here for the guy that likes to talk trash and say that we're leading into this financially. There's no financial gain.
Nothing.
He simply found him, and then I called him because I wanted to hear from him at Super Scoot and say, hey, what's going on with this thing? What are the revisions? And he said, well, hey, I got a story to tell you. I just left China, I guess a month ago, and I went to Teveron's factory, met with the owners. They found it's illegal in China to run super scooters. You have to do it on private property, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So they found a bridge that was unused. And there's a small video out there, actually. You can type in 2025 Teveron, 7260R. God, it's a long one, right?
Yeah.
It shows like a 10-second clip of him and barely seeing the scooter like in the background. And he told me that what they did, and he said that, you know, how much care that they took. And he said, you know, they changed the body for a redesign for a 60% upgrade on the carbon fiber surfaces. And then they tackled the issue of steel and wheel vibration at high speeds from the previous by changing the angles of the front bodywork and then lowering it. What else did they do, Louis? They did something else to it. I think lowering it and changing the angles on it.
Yeah, they basically lowered it.
Were.
They re-angled the front control arm area.
Forward,
like,
right?
Yeah, it's a little bit much. I guess you could say leaned a little bit forward, so it's much lower to the ground, and it's not like too gapped away from the neck of the scooter. So
and remember, they had a lot of versions.
Yeah,
you got to remember this thing. I mean, honestly, it's pretty scary because remember they had the 7260R, and then they stopped making that, and then they built before they did the Ultra. There was another 7260R that failed.
Yeah.
Then they did. Then there was one before the Ultra too. I can't remember the dang name of it.
I think it's a Blade.
No, it was still the 7260R, but there was. I can't remember the name, but then they did that, and then they did the Ultra, which became a separate scooter. The 7260R was just completely discontinued, and then all of a sudden, 2025, they're like, "I'm back."
Brought it back.
But he then actually yesterday was this morning. I think I had sent to the thread. I had gotten a hold of the owner again, and I said, "Listen, every super scooter I've ever bought comes completely unbalanced with the tires. You know, I'd like you to, you know, balance them out the best you can." He goes, "Oh, by the way, when I was in China, let me show you these pictures." There's pictures of Teveron actually bought their own balancing, like, you know, $100,000, you know, like for cars. And they had it up and they're balancing every single tire. I've never seen this before on any manufacturer. They're balancing the tires at the manufacturer professionally. I mean, it's awesome. And he's standing right in front of the picture. So he's over there in China. He was actually watching them balance it. So they definitely put this through rigorous testing, I think. And it's crazy to kind of jump on board because, I had the issues with the Roadrunner, the RX-7, with some speed wobble. And now I'm jumping right into the 7260R that had, my God, I mean, probably the worst recorded speed wobble in the history of super scooters.
Yeah,
Here I am
anything
again.
above 40 on that
Yeah.
thing.
So Mo, you said I'll see you in 2 weeks, right? I gotta go catch a flight.
I tell you, man. Yeah, I mean this will bring the fleet up to 14. So 14 different scooters surrounding me at this point, and I know it sounds crazy to have that many, but I think you'll all see soon as you guys start adding to your fleets and how much you guys love these things already. Just like Louis, you just
this is going to be number 9 for me.
Yeah, 9. And,
number 9.
You just keep. It's fun, guys. I'm sorry, it sounds crazy, but it is fun to have these options and rotate them through. And we do use them all. Louis uses all his.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In fact, I gotta spend some more time with that the Roadrunner Pro as well, because I've only used it a few times, but because I have so many scooters, like choice-wise, and not that many people have that opportunity. So I feel blessed to be able to have that and be able to use any scooter depending what I'm doing. Like again, in the entire fleet, the Range King is the Duotronics Limited. Nothing can top that thing when it comes to range.
That thing has proven itself, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
And you still haven't done your update.
No, not the update yet, because I did it off
which I'm mad
camera.
at you for. I'm mad at you.
84 miles of range going up to 43 miles an hour in Gear 3.
Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, that's why this thing costs $7,000.
Yeah.
He still hasn't run out of the distance. The battery's still going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
The only negative that I have to report on that scooter is the choice that they made to separate the lighting system from the actual main deck battery.
We found this out 2 days ago or last week, right?
Yeah. So apparently riding it at night with the lights on, it only lasts about 2 hours before the battery to the lights die out. And all the lights, meaning the headlights, the tail light, minus the brake lights and the hazard lights, and the horn.
The freaking horn.
Yeah, it's connected to the battery that's in the stem. And that's a 12 volt, 16 amp hour battery. So like 192 watt hours. And the front headlights by themselves are 90 watt hours per hour, literally, of like power that it's wasting from the battery. So
and don't forget, they put overwhelming focus on the beauty of this thing to ride at night, guys. I mean, it is a gorgeous machine at night with all the lighting. And they don't tell you, hey, you're screwed after 2 hours.
Yeah, I only got 2 hours and 13 minutes. And that was it. So, but when it came to the range, since it's separated from the lights, I still had a ton of range left over. Just like no lights.
How long does it take that to charge?
With the
3 days.
Okay, so if I charge up the deck battery for the range, with the 2 chargers that it has, it takes about, I'm gonna say, roughly 9 hours or so to charge, and then and that's with 2 chargers, and then
they're big chargers.
They're big chargers. 90 something volts, so it's pushing out a lot. And then
sounds like a jet in the room too.
It does. They're loud, dude. They sound like my wife's hair dryer, bro. Like like super freaking loud.
You can't hear shit at all. Yeah, it's that loud.
And then they do have a separate they have a separate charger for the lights.
Hours. When you were at 9, I thought it was about 5.5. So it's 9, huh?
Yeah, it's because it turns out it's charging at 4 amps, not not 5 on the charger. It's doing 4 amps. So it's basically 8 amps per hour. So it takes,
what about the light? We're talking about just the stem light to charge.
Dude. It charges at like about, it's supposed to be like 12 volts, 5 amp hours on the charger, but when I plug it in, and this is with the lights being like almost at zero, meaning like you push the button to try to turn on the lights and it turns right off like within like 3 seconds. So that's how low the battery state is. Because it doesn't have a display on the charger. You can't see like how many volts or amp hours it has, like versus a fancy charger that I have for charging random scooters. But it takes about 4 hours, even though it's supposed to be 16 amps. So
And I
if
think
it's a
that
5
separate
amp
display,
charger, yeah.
I think that little separate display is for that.
Yeah, the separate
The little
display is
tiny
just to
one.
tell you how many volts it has. Well, it's
I thought that
on.
was for the stem. It's not for the stem. That's for the whole. That's for the
No,
whole
it
scooter.
it is for the stem, but
So you can
only
rate it
turns
by
on.
you can rate it by volts though. You'll know how much you got left by
Yeah,
volts,
in a
right?
way. Yeah, once it reaches about 8.5 volts, the power cuts off to all the lights.
Right.
So this is where I go into it, and I say I thought they were gonna update it and bring a 2025 model because they've been updating all of their other models.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen any update with that one.
It's a
No,
year
and-
old. I mean, it came out like a year and a quarter. You know, because that was a 24 model.
Yeah, it is a
So-
24 model.
Yeah.
it
So
is.
that
Yeah.
the 24 model, bro. And you know, yeah, I mean, we don't want to scare anybody away from this thing. It's just that's why Louis came up with just using an additional light like everybody else
Yeah.
uses.
In fact,
Yes.
a crew new light that I have here, I installed one of these on it just to make sure
Yeah.
that I don't have to worry about the light finishing.
You just
on
got to
it.
be smart. You know, you
Yeah.
got to say, okay, I'm going on a long trek. I'm going to split up the lighting a little bit because look,
Yeah.
I don't care if you go with a regular light on a regular scooter, a lot of them only last 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
you know,
realistically.
it's not like it's foreign to have your light go out. It just sucks that it's such a beautiful light that goes out. That's all.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
the other thing is that the deck light, or I mean the deck battery is so massive
Mhm.
that you still have more range out of the scooter than you do like light output. So
They should regen it and they should just
Yeah,
have it
at-
part
at
of the
least.
scooter, to be honest with you.
or at least add the tail
Leave the
lights
horn.
and at least the horn into the
Yeah.
the main deck battery, like as a redesign, or at least one of the
Absolutely.
3 headlights. You know, add
And you know what? They listen at Mini Motors. So I
Yes, they do.
guarantee you they're probably going to do something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact, Mini Motors is actually the manufacturer for Teveron and Dualtron, and it's actually a South Korean brand. So that's something to take into account. They have different technology, different standards, and they really do listen to people feedback.
People don't know that. People
Mhm.
think that, okay, you know, Dualtron is sold by Mini Motors, but people
No, they're
don't
the
realize that
manufacturer.
actually Mini Motors is a manufacturer that sells those products. And I didn't know that forever. I thought Mini Motors just sold Dualtron, and you know, I didn't know they made it. You
Yeah.
know, so that's pretty amazing. And they also sell mods on there for other scooters, as I recall in the past. Other stuff that they don't even that aren't their own
They don't
brand.
really talk about it.
Yeah, I think they had stuff for the Cabo at one point that you can mod the Cabo on there a year or so ago. But yeah, they're a good company. I mean, Louis can say that. He's had a lot of chats with them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They've been very helpful, like when it comes to tech support, especially with the Dualtron.
Yeah, that Dualtron that's still an amazing scooter. I mean, and I think it shouldn't scare people away from it with the lighting. It's just that if you do buy, you know, the X Limited, that's not something you ever buy as your first or second scooter. You know, that's one like, hey, I want to do long treks. I want to, you know, like living in California like you do, going up and down the hills, going up mountainsides. What a
Yeah.
great scooter for that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have it as an everyday. It's too big.
Yeah, it's quite heavy, and then it does take a toll on your legs because you do have to like maneuver yourself left to right on your body when it comes to making the turns as well, just to make sure that you can make a sharp turn on the scooter without actually falling off of it because you tilted it too
Yeah.
much. So
Well,
it
Louis,
takes some
this
work.
you bought that lock, that 5-pound lock. We gotta, we gotta get you up there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that
Hey,
does
Martin,
fit
let's talk
on
about
on the Dualtron, because that Dualtron has like a 4-inch thick or wide like neck, like, or the stem. It's huge. So this lock
Huge.
literally fits there.
There you go. For the people that want to buy one, there's the one
Yeah.
that fits it.
Mhm.
We're training hard.
Yeah.
What's up, our Dualtron? That's what we're doing over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, guys. Then in that case, we're gonna be ending our podcast here, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask on either one of our channels, and we'll make sure to respond to you accordingly. And we'll see you guys on the next podcast. Alrighty, guys.
Be
Up until
safe,
next time.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye, guys.